All
That's
right.
true.
It's broken in Green Bay between Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. Jordan Love, who had a rough outing his first day of the mandatory minicamp, all of a sudden the tweets were coming fast and furious from the beat writers who were watching practice on Wednesday. Jordan Love looking pretty good. Jordan Love starting to figure it out. Jordan Love getting it done. Here's Jordan Love after practice on Wednesday talking to reporters about how he's feeling now that he's had even more time as the number one guy in Green Bay.
My mindset this whole offseason has been to get ready and get myself ready, and that's been my mindset since I got here. And, whether Aaron was here or not here, that's going to be my mindset regardless, because I have to get myself ready to play. I've just been living my life, man, just trying to do what I can do to get better in this offseason. And obviously, not knowing what's going to happen next, just got to my main thing has been controlling what I can control and, do my best to, like I said, get better every day so that I'm ready, whatever the circumstance may be come season. Just do my best to be ready for myself, for the team, and for everybody here. Yeah. And the other question, obviously me and Aaron, we got a good relationship. Talked to him probably a week before I got out here, so, yeah.
Managed to get through that with any face touching or other tells, but there was at one point you could see by the eye movement and just the general exasperation. We know what he's been going through.
Yeah.
I feel for the guy.
Right, definitely.
He is in a no-win situation. Get ready. You don't know when the guy's coming back. You got to be ready to go. Everything you do is going to be scrutinized at a level that no other first-round quarterback faces, because none of them potentially are replacing one of the all-time greats at a time where we're not sure whether or not the all-time great is going to come back. And, frankly, the better Jordan Love performs, maybe the more likely the all-time great comes back. Who knows what's going to motivate Aaron Rodgers at this point. But I really feel for Jordan Love, and I think anything that he does that looks good, that passes the eyeball test, that gets those reporters to check boxes for, hey, he looks great. Hey, how about that throw? Hey, that's even more impressive than it would be for any other quarterback, given the stress that is inherent to his current predicament.
No doubt about it. I mean, I don't think there's more of a spotlight on one player in the whole NFL more than Jordan Love. That's for sure. And again, it's a tough spot. Hopefully he does have a good relationship with Aaron Rodgers, because Aaron Rodgers at least went through something similar to a degree, not quite like this, but maybe that could help him with his own mindset of how to approach this situation and everything like that. But I'm like, Mike, first off, the reports, like you mentioned, the tweets, everything like that, I'm not surprised to hear that. Hey, it's the second day, right? Maybe they added a few new plays into the offense that caught the defense off guard. He's a little bit more comfortable. Of course, wide receivers and everybody else are comfortable too. And here, this is the other part that, maybe I hang around with you too long, okay? And maybe I look too deep into things. But I also know this is the NFL, and this stuff goes on. The Packers saw the tweets from 2 days ago about practice not being, all that awesome by Jordan Love, missed throws. The front office saw that. They hear the chatter. The coaches hear the chatter. So I would also think there was a concerted effort, one, to make the player look good so he doesn't have so much pressure on him, but just to, shut up the outside noise a little bit to where maybe they did draw up a few plays and, got the defense in just the right play for that play, like I've talked about, to at least put him in a position to take advantage of something big and maybe, frame the narrative a new way the next day. I don't put that past them. I'm not trying to be a jerk by it. It goes on all the time. And that's one of the first things I thought of when I saw some of that stuff yesterday.
I think it's a fair take. You've pointed out in the past that in New England, they don't call defenses that are catered to allowing the offensive play to work. Right. The offense is on its own in practice. But if Joe Barry calls a defense, knowing what the offensive play is going to be, knowing that defense sets up the offensive play for success and allows the Packers to generate some of these tweets that will maybe make Jordan Love look better, make him feel better, spin things in their favor.
Exactly.
You
do it, right? I'd do it.
I don't know that I would do it per se. I can't fault them for doing it.
Yeah, I mean,
I can't fault them for doing it. Not after the way things went on Tuesday, and they understand
exactly
how high stakes this all is.
Right.
And that's the thing. There are no accidents in any of this.
Yeah.
There are no mistakes in any of this. When Mark Murphy writes in a column that the Aaron Rodgers situation has divided our fan base, that's not something that he just blurts out and he wishes he could take back. That's the product of careful thought and strategic planning. Everything that's happening here is the result of strategic planning. Just like, as I wrote last night at PFT, when James Jones continues to say the situation is fixable, that is the result of strategic planning by Aaron Rodgers to make it look like the Packers are at fault for not fixing it. It's very simple. It's fixable. It's fixable. The Packers haven't fixed it. Blame the Packers.
Yeah.
It's no big deal. It's not about this. It's not about that. I'm not going to tell you what it's about, but it's no big deal.
Yeah.
It's fixable. They can fix it.
And he'll be back. I
Everything.
think he'll be back for training camp. Like, yes, I agree with you. You're exactly right.
Everything is strategic here.
I think so, yes.
You know, just like you have influenced me over the last 4 years to say things like Megahorn, my cynical nature has influenced you to realize, and you don't need me to realize. They're going to try to prop their guy up.
Well,
they have to.
Exactly. You know, I've seen John Gruden do it. I've seen him have conversations with the defensive coordinator, like, "Hey, man, you know, I got to get this guy some confidence, right?" He'll talk like that or whatever it is. I could totally see that going down. Nate Hackett, Matt LaFleur having a conversation with Joe Barry. Hey, play this coverage while we run these plays. You know, and then I have friends that ask me and go, well, why would the defense do that, though? That's not good for them. And I go, yes, it is still good for them. And you have to understand why a little bit. Yeah, like Joe Barry might not want to play that exact defense versus that formation, right? But during the NFL season, at some point, his defense is going to get tricked and that they're going to motion or do something, and he's going to get stuck, you know, in that defensive setting with that formation he doesn't like to go against. And now the defense at least gets to work on it and go, see, this is where we're vulnerable when we play this. So we have to learn to do this and make a little, you know, tweaks to the rules of the defense and things like that. So it still benefits the defense, even though they're letting up a big play on 7-on-7 and a mini camp or anything like that. It's a learning tool, and then also an offensive confidence booster for the quarterback, the receivers, whoever it may be. And I think that it'd be something I would do. I would be thinking that if I'm an offensive coach with the Packers right now. Hey, let's get everybody off this kid's back a little bit. Let's get him some confidence. You know, it's hard enough, let alone we got the media tweeting out, you know, live events about him missing throws and things like that. And I could certainly see that going down, or at least them having that conversation.
I doubt, Chris, there was a single tweet about the guys who got burned, the guys who got beaten, the guys who were out of position when Jordan Love made his throw.
Exactly right.
Those guys aren't the focal point of everything that's happening in Green Bay. And another way to justify it is we owe it to this kid to help him. We put him in this spot. We drafted him into this mess.
Yes.
The mere act of drafting him helped create this mess, regardless of anything that Aaron Rodgers is saying to James Jones, with the idea that James Jones is then going to turn around and say it on radio or TV. Of course that was part of this, the way they handled it. What it shows, whether it's the symptom or the cause, it's part of the problem, and Jordan Love is in an extremely difficult position. So they owe it to the kid to give him a positive day, to make him, and they need him to. They need him to build confidence.
Exactly.
If he's at some point, he's going to be the guy. Maybe this year, maybe next year, maybe the year after. They can't ruin him in a mandatory minicamp practice by letting him just flounder and get to the point where he's got no confidence at all. He's got to have some leadership at some point, though, Chris. Here's Jordan Love from yesterday talking about his approach to leading the other players who will be on the field with him.
That's a part of my game that I'm trying to improve as well. Just being able to take charge of this offense and, be able to command these guys and take leadership role. But, I mean, like you said, last year, obviously I wasn't in that role. That was Aaron's voice being heard and whatnot. But now I just got to be able to, take that next step and take command of it and lead these guys. And,
It makes sense. Why are you going to try to lead when the guy who's been the leader since you were 10 years old or younger
is
there? He's not there. you're number one on the depth chart while he's not there. You've got to provide the leadership. It's that simple. And it can be awkward at first because, people develop their narratives. They get used to what they've seen. Oh, there's that guy who was quiet all year last year. Oh, wait a minute, he's talking now. Oh, boy, I kind of like what he's having to say. But that's part of what you have to be as a quarterback. You know when it's your moment, right?
Yes.
To step up. When it's your moment to shut up. When it's your moment to step up.
Yes, that's right. And step up and then start to learn the different or get a feel for the different phases of that leadership. I think that's the next thing. Again, like Devontae Adams and the rest of the offensive line and David Bakhtiari and everything, they don't want to hear like a rah-rah speech from Jordan Love right now, right? That would be like, wait, dude, you're not to that leadership level yet. You haven't played in a game. You haven't even dressed for a game yet. But like where it starts is, hey, yeah, command of the offense. He knows what he's doing. And then the knowledge within the offense. That's how he's going to start his leadership role. The guys break the huddle. Valdez-Scantling's like, what? He's, hey, double wing right. You're over here. Get in the slot. 4 yards off the tackle there. He gets them right like that. Then players start to listen. Wait, this guy knows what he's doing. Okay. And then the next thing that comes, is you got to see the results and things like that. So that's how the leadership is formed as far as the quarterback position. And, yeah, this is a great experience for him to kind of show his knowledge, his command of the offense, that he can, handle the pressure and the heat of the situation and direct everybody the right way. And then as he gets to play and practice and play in the preseason, he could start to, even if Aaron Rodgers is there, just assert his voice little by little, here and there without kind of, being disrespectful to Aaron Rodgers. And hopefully he's learning that. He's got a great way about him, as you could see. That's for sure. And I do think the kid's got natural leadership abilities, just at least a little I've heard behind the scenes.
How did it work for you when you showed up as a rookie in 2003? Take me through that progression. You're the guy who's making sure Warren Sapp has his cans of Copenhagen,
right,
to eventually becoming the guy who's taken over the team.
Like total backseat is what I did. I mean, yeah, just, hey, whatever I can do, I want to learn. Let me show you I'm willing to work, and be a good teammate. So I was always, following Brad Johnson. I had Brad Johnson and Sean King. Who the hell was I to think that I should be in front of them on the depth chart? One guy just won the Super Bowl. The other guy played in the NFC Championship game like 3 years before that. So I really just took the approach of, let me be one of the guys. Let me show them that I love football and I love to work at it. And slowly you start to gain the respect. And like I was just saying, then they see me play in preseason. They go, oh, hey, this tall blonde kid, he's a knucklehead, but damn, he's pretty good. He likes football. And, you start to create your niche on the football team to where the next year, in year two, I kind of was a little bit, I don't want to say it a quarterback competition, but a little bit. They were telling me, hey, you might have a chance to start this year or do something like that. Brad didn't play great. I didn't think I would start, but at least I was able to, assert myself to a degree without trying to be disrespectful to Brad Johnson, again, who a guy was really good and good to me. And then when I got my chance, to play and do that, then I could kind of show everybody my real self and maybe, yell and be a little, rah-rah-ish a little bit more that way. But, yeah, you gotta take it in steps in the locker room. If you go too quickly, people will disrespect you, not like you, and shut you out and be like, oh, gosh, he's all talk, shut up, he hasn't done anything yet.
One thing that you said there that struck me, the opportunity you had as a rookie to play in the preseason and develop a niche that way. Jordan Love didn't have that.
Right?
Last year. He's at even more of a disadvantage.
Exactly.
He was just the guy who was there, never in uniform. Speaking of uniforms, I always heard that Brad Johnson at halftime of the game would take off the uniform he wore the first half and put on an entire new one. Is that true?
Well, listen, nobody could sweat like we call him the Bull. Brad Johnson could sweat like no other. My first training camp ever, like our second day of camp, we're having double sessions. I mean, I remember hearing a yell throughout a hallway of our hotel in Orlando. It was Brad Johnson on the floor in a full body cramp. He couldn't move. They had to get IVs up there and do everything. So, yes, in some of the hot games, he would change some of his clothes. And then we had Swamp Ass at center, right? And John Wade. And he used to make John Wade change his pants at halftime because, the ball was a wet watermelon by the end of the half. And he would do that, and John Wade would be in there all mad and taking it off, and you could see he was pissed off that he had to do it and all that. But no, that is real. Brad, early in the year, he would definitely wouldn't change his whole uniform, but if he felt like his pants were like excessively soaked or it just the jersey or whatever, then yeah, he'd make a change that way.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.